tight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This piece is on an interview recently with Michelle-Malkin, who was on Fox and Friends on the Sunday edition. I will put a link out on it on my website as usual. In the video they principally discuss the recent Boston protest that took place, even mentioning the fact that free speech protesters were outnumbered by massive numbers of organised opposition protesters organised by ANTI-FA, which stands for anti-fascist, by the way, which makes no sense on the surface. This ANTI-FA are actually protesting against a group who were protesting about not having free speech, which would make some sense in my country, Canada, but not in the US, surely, where the First Amendment rules. Or does it? This is just a short clip to help you understand what's really going on with the well-organised Antifa group protests. Stop a moment and listen. And as always, we welcome your comments.
Yes, Trish, this is part of the deliberate strategy of resistance. It was announced in the days after the election, and the well-funded left, funded by large billionaire philanthropists, right, like George Soros or the Borealis philanthropy, or many of the Tides Foundation. I mean, there are reporters in conservative media who have tracked and followed the money for decades now, really. We saw it pop up first with the anti-war protests during the Bush years. We saw it with the open borders lobby during the battle over amnesty. And we have seen it through the counter-protests to the truly peaceful Tea Party rally, and leading up through the Black Lives Matter, Occupy movement, and the agitation in the last years of the Obama administration. These are not spontaneous by any means. You see that in the way that their signs are so similar and so uniform, and you see the advertising for these full employment, full-time protesters. This is what they do for a living: obstruct, agitate, and harass.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments on Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. At this time I have another exciting announcement to make. You can now find us on iHeartRadio under A Radio, and you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com. Click on the Morning Moments tab.